We could talk now about setting rules and expectations as a father would. This is a controversial part of loving a feminine woman that the modern world do not understand this one single bit. A good father would set very clear house rules for his daughter. Very clear. This is what you do, this is what you eat, this is how you behave, this is the words that we can use, this is the words that we don't use, this is what time you've got to come home from school, everything like this. And this is absolutely perfectly normal and healthy for a father to do this for his daughter. But then it gets kind of weird to set these kinds of rules and boundaries for an adult, for a grown woman. And the modern world around this question this heavily and says that this is toxic, controlling everything. But again, if you are a masculine man dating a feminine woman, this is what she needs. Why? Because if she's a feminine woman, it means that she's had a masculine father. And she will be attracted to the man who acts in a somewhat similar way to her father. Her father used to say, okay, come do this. Not in a horrible way. You know, you can't, but like, come do this, it'll be good for you. No, don't do that. It'll be bad for you. She's used to her father being like this, and now when she grows up, it's almost like she wants to be passed on to the next man who can direct her life. In The Way of the Superior Man, that book that I mentioned before, there's a quote which says, she wants to relax in the guidance and the direction of your masculinity. She wants you to be certain, not just for yourself and your own direction, but what she should do. And often, most guys are not comfortable with this. Most guys literally are so like anxious with this. And the reason why is because you will get punished in the modern day. If we talk about this out loud, like I'm doing right now, you will get people who respond to you and say that you're manipulative, you're misogynist, everything. But the truth is, a feminine woman actually needs this and will be more in love with you if you act in a kind of a similar way as her father did when you set rules and expectations and boundaries. In the modern day, everyone is depolarized. Honestly, most couples are depolarized. The man's not that masculine, the woman's not that feminine. This means everyone's quite unhappy. And because most relationships are like this, now we see man and woman as equal. We have equal rights, and so we are equals. The problem with this equality thinking is that then we don't need each other. The necessity of being in a relationship disappears when you're equals. When you're equals, you don't need each other anymore. It sounds weird, but one of the best pieces of advice that I could give you is to not treat her like she's your equal. It sounds weird, and people will quote this and try and terrorize me and everything, and they'll say that this is horrible. One of the best pieces of advice that I could give you is to treat her like she's weaker than you. You know why? This is gonna make you be so much more loving to her. Because if you genuinely keep in your mind that she's weaker than you, which is actually an objective fact, she is weaker than you, then you will act like the good, happy, agile, active father. She needs something, so you're gonna stand up and go get it for her. And she's gonna love that. This is not simping. She's broken something and you're gonna sit down and help her clean it. The weak, lazy father who thinks that his daughter's grown up enough. Oh, we need milk, and he throws her a pound, $1 or something. Oh yeah, go get it, he says to her. In the modern day, this is what a lot of relationships are like. The man is acting like an equal or even below. The man is acting like the boy, the son to his woman, the mother. And this is why relationships have gotten so ucky for a lot of people, especially if you're able to resonate with me and feel the similarities between, maybe if you feel kind of similar to me in some areas. If you're a masculine man, you'll find that deeply unattractive to think that your woman is going to guide you, your woman's going to look after you, she's going to provide for you, that she's going to make half the decisions. Treat her like you would your daughter. You would do a lot for your daughter. You would be the one to protect her. You'd be the one to jump up out of your seat when your daughter needs something. If you were like the good, happy father. She expects to follow you. Remember, this is not all women. Honestly, we're talking about the small amount of women, right? We never wanted to date 90% of women, right? I was gonna say no offense to them, but honestly, offense to them. 90% of men and women are just like low tier, aren't they? You look around, everyone's on TikTok, everyone's watching porn and playing video games and eating junk food and taking drugs and stuff. Okay, 90% of people are just like, we don't, okay? If you're on self-improvement, if you're meditating, if you're going to the gym, you can't even relate to most people. We don't want to date some normal, masculine, independent woman. If you wanted to date a feminine woman, this is what she expects because her father acted like this. And there is something iconic with how man and woman used to get married. Her father used to walk her down the aisle and pass her to the husband. In the modern day, feminists say that this was like some ceremony that was so barbaric. No, it wasn't. He was her protector. The father was her provider. And then he passes the responsibility onto the husband. That is that is the most sacred moment that a father could have, is like thinking to himself, I'm passing, like, you know, how much I have looked after my little girl to this man. And I am trusting this man to look after her the same way that I did. That is the most beautiful moments the husband and father could see. And in the modern day, like, feminists and men with like skinny necks and long hair are saying like, oh yeah, that's barbaric, it's sexist. Let the feminine woman decide. If there's a masculine woman out there who thinks it is barbaric, okay, fine. The thing is, what we're just doing is just invoking our own consent and our own preferences. And we're attracting, like, we want to attract the feminine woman who actually expects this. Because her father, who's still around, who's not divorced from her mother, her father raised her quite tightly, securely. Her father set rules and said, no, we don't do that because of this. No, yes, we do. No, come on, we do this thing. No, we don't stay out that late. No, you know what? You can't be friends with that girl because she's not good for you. Her father was like this. For a good feminine woman that, like, you think is actually good quality, her father would have it like that. This is the only way a woman can be of good quality. Her father was like this. And so you must be like this too. You must be okay with being seen as a misogynist, patriarchal figure. You must be okay with setting rules and expectations and telling her what you can and can't do. If you know that you're supposed to be a man like this, if this sounds like absolutely right and you couldn't even imagine a relationship where, for example, you didn't get to say or you know, make your girl do something, that would be weird for you. You've got to be authentic with this, because a lot of guys don't have the confidence to admit this. But if this is your desire to have this kind of relationship where genuinely you are in control of your woman, then be authentic to it. Of course, this is going to be with consent, with age-appropriate adults and everything. So no one can ever like criticize us for this. Be authentic with your desire with this.
Interesting take. Should you set rules for your girlfriend? Let me know in the comments.